Hey students, in our last videos we understood the rules of exponents and worked on some simple problems. In this video we are going to work on some harder problems, some complex problems, and let us see how to make them easy and how to solve them. Okay, so for this expression, it looks like a hard one, but it's not that. So first we write those numbers, those terms, like terms. We separate the like terms and write them like this: x raised to negative 3, x raised to negative 6. Like terms are separated and written like this. See, this looks like an easy one, and don't worry, it's not hard, it's easy. And once you separate the terms like that, what do you think? Which formula, which rule of exponent you can apply here? Yes, you guessed it right. We are going to apply the quotient rule or the division rule. So using the division rule, we subtract the powers. So it's negative 7, negative of negative 4 times x raised to negative 3, negative of negative 6, because we are subtracting the powers. Negative 2, negative of is a positive 4. And now we know that two negatives make a positive. So it's negative 7 plus 4 times x raised to negative 3 plus 6 times y raised to negative 2 and negative 4. Since two negatives make a positive, so it becomes those changes to positives. And at last we get 3 raised to negative 4, x raised to 3. Sorry, this is x raised to negative 3, 3 raised to negative 3. Because negative 7 plus 4 gives you a negative 3 times x raised to 3 times y raised to negative 2, negative 4 gives you a negative 6. And let's simplify them further. 3 raised to negative 3. Let's make all the negative exponent to the positive, because it always like the answer using the positive exponents only. So let's 1 over y to the 6. To make the negative exponents positive, we move them to the bottom, and we get 3 raised to 3 is 27 times x raised to 3 times 1 raised to y to the 6. And let's combine them and write them together. We get x cubed over 27y to the 6. So this was the answer for this problem, and you can see that final answer is written using the positive exponents only. Let's move to a more harder problem. This problem looks like more complex and hard, but again it's not hard if you go step by step. Let's simplify those terms inside the parenthesis first. So here we can apply power to the power of a power rule. So x raised to negative 2 times 2 gives you a negative 4 over. Here you can see the power, there is a whole power 3, and many students make a mistake here that 3, they don't distribute 3 to the 3. So don't forget to distribute 3, the power 3, to each member, to each element inside the parenthesis. So it's 3 raised to 3 times y raised to negative 2 times 3. And for the second parenthesis, it's better to separate and write like terms together. X raised to negative 3 over x raised to negative 4, y to the negative 4 over y to the negative 3, like this. x raised to negative 4 on the top, and simplify the terms in the bottom. 3 raised to 3 gives you 27 times y to the, here we apply power of a power rule. Negative 2 times 3 gives you a negative 6, and you can simplify these terms. It gives you 4 times x raised to, again these are we can apply the quotient rule here. So negative 3, while using the quotient rule, we know that the powers get subtracted. So we subtract the lower power from the upper one. So negative 3 minus of minus 4 times y raised to negative 4 minus of minus 3. X raised to negative 4, 27, y raised to negative 6, and it's 4 times x raised to, see here, we can apply the rules of integers. Negative 3 and then 2 negatives make a positive, so it becomes negative 3 plus 4, and here too it becomes negative 4 plus 3 because 2 negatives make a positive. So we get negative 3 plus 4 gives you a 1 times y raised to negative 4 plus 3 gives you a negative 1. Again, we need to write the final answer using the positive exponents. So let's change all those negative exponents to the positive. To change any negative exponent to the positive, we move it to the bottom. Like if the negative exponent is on the top, we move it to the bottom. If the negative exponent is on the denominator already, we move it to the top. If it's already in the bottom, we move it to the top to make them positive. So you can see we can just change those members. We can move x term to the bottom and we can move y term to the top to make them positive. So it becomes y to the 6 over 27x to the 4 times 4, x will remain on the top and y get moved to the bottom to make it positive. And again, it's better to write those terms separately. So let's write 1 over 27 times y to the 6 over this y goes below the y to the 6 times, okay, we could move this 4 outside as well, so it becomes 4 over 27 times, we are left with only x on the top, so it's x over x to the 4. And finally we can write 4 over 27 times y to the, okay, we can apply the division rule or the quotient rule. So the power gets subtracted. 6 minus 1 gives you a 5 here, and x to the 1 minus 4, because on the top we have 1 and in the bottom we have 4, and it gives you 4 over 27 times y to the 5, and here we get 1 minus 4 gives you a negative 3, so you get x to the negative 3, and you move the negative 3, you move the power negative 3 to the bottom to make it positive. And we can write the final answer as 4y to the 5 over 27x to the 3. This is the final answer. And you can see these expressions look scary in the beginning, but you don't get scared. Start simplifying them step by step and you'll find them much more easier.